What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. Your boy JP here, hoping to make your install life a whole lot easier. I know it's long overdue, but we'll definitely get into the digital designs audio system for the Camry. We already did the SMD 2000.1 with the 12. Now we're getting to the DD audio front stage using the OEM replacement 2 3/4 speakers for the dash and the 6x9s for the front doors. Now with our 4-channel amp, we are using the SS 4.500. It does 125x4 at 2 ohms, 75x4 at 4 ohms, which is going to be perfect because these speakers, if you remember, they are 3 ohm speakers. It's going to literally force more efficiency and power. So we're going to get in between that 75 and 125, and both of these pairs of speakers can handle it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it and go ahead and get inside the car because we need to take a lot of measurements. So we're looking right up under the passenger seat right here on the right side. The little vent that's going out to the back is over on the side, which gives me all of this space right here to mount my amplifier. Now when I drop the seat all the way back to the factory location, I still have a ton of room for this amplifier. We have some split loom that's barely touching it, but it's not going to actually stop the seat from going back and forth, so it's going to be perfect. Now I went ahead and measured this. This is about 11 inches this way and 9 inches that way, which should give me plenty room for running wires and stuff like that. But that's not the only measurement that I need to get. Y'all already know with every install that I do is properly planned out to be serviceable. That way if I need to add something, change something, troubleshoot something at a later date, it's easy. Just like the amp board that I did previously with the SMD 2K, we used the 3-spot distribution block for the power and ground instead of the 2-spot because I knew at a later date I wanted to add a 4-channel. Since we're going up under the passenger seat, I don't need 14 or 16 feet worth of RCAs, probably 4, maybe 6 foot max, because we will be running brand new speaker wire to each individual speaker. For one, I'm gonna be using 16 gauge OFC wire, and I know 18 gauge is ran inside my car, and I don't want to go from 16 gauge from the amp transfer down to 18 gauge because that's what the factory wiring is. So we're gonna do 16 gauge all the way through. And 2, my front door speakers and my dash speakers are wired together. I want everything to be wired individually and independent. That way it's easier to troubleshoot. Now all my connections are going to be quick disconnects, and they're going to meet in the kick panels. Now manufacturers do this all the time, how they use wire harnesses to join components together, and they usually meet inside the kick panel. I'm doing the same thing between my amp board and my speakers. That way I can do all my prep work outside the car, and when it's time to come to install everything, it'll all be plug and play. So, and those measurements are going to be from the dash speaker to the kick panel, from the door speaker to the kick panel, and then we're also going to need from the 4-channel amplifier to the kick panel for both the passenger and the driver side. You know, an installer once told me the better your prep work, the easier the install, which is why I love doing prep work. I know it takes a lot of work in the beginning, but it makes the install so much easier. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, and your installs will look a whole lot cleaner in the process every step of the way. Man, I've been installing for about 18 years, 14 of those years being professional. And my goal is to share my install experience with all you guys, whether you're advanced or beginner or some DIYers. I hope that me installing and just pretty much telling y'all what I'm doing in the process helps you guys out in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So in this phase of the prep work, we're going to be getting our speakers ready for installation. So we want to cut the wires down the length, and I am testing some heat shrink sizes. I'm going over the speaker and the terminals on both of my speakers. Reason being is because I'm going to solder these speaker wires directly to the speaker. And since we're soldering directly to the speaker, we need to make sure we protect this connection with some dual wall marine grade heat shrink. The dual wall means that it has some little adhesive on the inside, so when you heat it up, it's going to kind of ooze out, but that's going to help protect these connections from any type of moisture, which means that oxidation, corrosion, erosion, stuff like that will not get inside this connection. And I can't tell you how much of a big deal that is for me, because there's so many cars that I've seen come in where their speakers aren't working, and that's because they have so much water inside the speaker harness or inside the speaker, and the wire has just been really corroded, and literally when you cut the speaker terminal off and put some brand new wire to the speaker, it starts playing. I've seen water corrode wires all the way into the door boot when the wire is supposed to go inside the vehicle. So the way that I usually fix this for people is that I solder directly to the speaker, add the marine grade heat shrink, and I've never had a problem doing that, which is exactly why we are prepping it this way for my personal vehicle. So now that we're done prepping the side of the speaker that's going to potentially be in the element, we want to prep the side that's going to be down there in the kick panel. So when I split these speaker wires up, we're going to actually use bullet connectors as a quick disconnection to meet the wires that's coming from the speaker to the wires that's going to the amplifier. So for this 16 gauge speaker wire, they differentiate positive and negative by having a whole bunch of little pluses on one wire. So I want to put the male connector on the positive and the female on the negative. Realistically, you can do this any kind of way you want, but we need to make sure that it is the opposite coming from the amp. That way you don't have male going to male, you will have male going to female. And now we want to wrap it up with some tester tape. So there are two types of harness tape. You have interior and exterior. Now the interior tape is more of a cloth style. I don't really know what this material of the exterior tape is, but it's a lot tougher, and I like the exterior better in my opinion. But I do like the fact that you can just tear the interior tape up. You're not tearing this one, you're gonna have to cut it. But the reason I want to use the exterior tape is that these speaker wires are going inside the door, and since they're going to be inside the element, I need them to be better protected. If you use the interior tape inside the door and then you have a lot of moisture inside the door, then that interior cloth is going to get wet. So we want everything to be uniform. We're going to add one final piece of heat shrink to these speakers. Now we're going to use black with the white and white with the black to differentiate between passenger side and driver side. Passenger side is going to get black with the white print on the heat shrink, and the driver side is going to get white with the black print. And yes, I did do this because they match the color of the speaker, because the attention to detail is something that I am extremely happy about doing. It just looks better to me. Yes, nobody else is going to see it except me, and it's going inside my car. Even if this is for a customer, he's probably never going to see it, but I'm going to know it's there. Also, what if years later the client moves away and they have to get it troubleshot by another installer? When he sees this, he's going to know that it's done right, and it'll be easier for him to troubleshoot. But not only does it look good, it's going to help me out with my installation and make it a whole lot easier, because I know the white heat shrink speakers go to the driver side, the black heat shrink speakers go to the passenger side. When I do my amp board, I'm going to do the same thing on the wires that's going to meet these wires in the kick panel. So for any oddball chance I had driver speaker wires from the amp going to the passenger kick panel wires, I know that they're not going to match up because the colors aren't going to be the same. And that's going to be about it for this video. Thanks for watching the prep work for the speaker wires. We got them ready to go and be installed inside the vehicle. Next video is going to be phase 2 of the prep work, which is going to be the amp board. I know you guys love watching the amp board installations, so we're going to be doing that next. And then our last final phase, we'll be getting the speakers installed and the amps installed. Shout out to anybody who chooses to support the channel, my fan subscriptions from the website, everybody that does the Patreon. And if you guys found any type of value in this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment if you want to. Till next time, it's your boy JP signing out, telling y'all to keep going, keep growing, and have a very blessed day. Peace.